Hey, it's Kitty Robinson here. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a while, but I am so excited about my next adventure that I thought I'd get on here and show you a little behind the scenes of what I've got going on. I'm leaving in the morning, Lord willing, to go on a 5-day hiking trip on the Appalachian Trail, and I thought I'd show you what I'm doing for food. So last fall, I got a tick bite here at my own house, and the tick bite caused me to have an allergy called alpha-gal allergy, and I became allergic to meat, specifically meat from mammals. I was already a pretty healthy eater, but had read a book called How Not to Die, and really was kind of wanting to make some changes more towards a plant-based diet anyway. And that tick bite really ended up being a blessing in disguise, because that helped me move away from all the red meat. I didn't eat a ton of it, but I think seeing that I could do without that helped me see that I could take some other things out of my diet. So within a few months, I moved completely to a whole foods plant-based diet, and I want to continue to follow that on the trail, although I've made a few concessions, you'll see, because the whole idea is to be healthy, and I've got to be able to get enough food. So we're going to be hiking 70 miles in 5 days. That we're going to burn through a ton of calories. So I'm really trying hard to make sure I have some food with a lot of nutrition, with good calorie count, and I'm really going to try to limit my weight loss on this trip. I generally lose a few pounds on the shorter trips that we take. So I'm pretty experienced with 3-day hikes. I've never done 5 days. I'm a section hiker only. I've never done through hiking. So this is a step for me. And anything you start small, you build up. And so here we are at a 5-day hike. So I thought I'd just show you how I pack my food. I'm sure there's lots of different ways to do this. This is just how I do it and what works for me. So I take my food and I divide it into bags for each day I'm going. So here's day 1. And this says snacks and dinner, because we'll be on the road that morning and afternoon. We've got about 6 or 7 hours, maybe 6 hours of travel to get up there, and then a 10-mile hike. So I'll show you what I've got in here. I use Excalibur dehydrator. I love it. I don't even know if there's any other dehydrator out there. It is the one. And so most of my food is dehydrated, which is great because it takes up less space. I can do it at a temperature that preserves the digestive enzymes in the food, so I can still eat living food as if it was fresh, and all it's missing is the water, which of course I'll be drinking along the way as we filter it. And so it takes up less space, it's much lighter, and I can eat foods where I know that where they came from, and I know that they're still really full of nutrition. So I have a whole bag here of dehydrated apples and strawberries, bananas. There might be some peaches in here. I'm not sure. Anyway, this will be for a couple days. What I do is I start something in a day's bag, like this snack, and I know that I'm going to have 2 days worth of eating on this, maybe 3. So I'll move it at the end of the day to the next day's bag. So you'll see quite a bit of that. Okay, it looks gross, but this is actually my favorite thing to eat on the trail, maybe second favorite. This is split pea soup. So I made it in my rice cooker. It just has vegetables, vegetable broth, and some herbs, and then split peas, which have a ton of protein. I've got some carbs in here and good nutrition. And anyway, I dehydrate it on the trays in the dehydrator, and then it makes this kind of crumbly powder. Now, the best thing I have learned with hiking, I've come across, is these stasher bags. I don't even know if the Stasher company has tapped into what they have as far as a resource for hikers, but it's a silicone bag. You can boil water in it. You can do lots of other things with it as well. But what I do is I put my dehydrated food that's meant to be rehydrated and heated up, I put it in this bag, and then I heat the water in this pot, and then I take it and I pour the hot water into this bag with my dried food that I'm going to rehydrate, and I zip it up and just smush it around and let it sit. So since it's sealed, it traps that heat in. I let it sit, it rehydrates it, and then I eat it right out of the pouch, and then I just rinse out the pouch and I'm ready to go. It also frees up my one pot so that if I want to have maybe mashed potatoes with this or want to heat up some tea, I can go ahead and get going on the next thing, which I love. So the stasher bags, they're kind of pricey, but man, they are worth it. And then I use them throughout the year for other things too, not just for hiking. All right, so I've got the split pea soup, and then I love mashed potatoes on the trail. This would be my #1 favorite. But in the past, I've just done store-bought packs of mashed potatoes, and they have a lot of dairy in them. So I found Bob's Red Mill mashed potatoes. It's just potato flakes, and I put in some green powder. I don't know if you can see that in there. I dehydrate my greens and grind it up into powder, and then I put nutritional yeast and salt. And so this actually should be 2 meals worth of mashed potatoes, and I'm looking forward to those. So again, I'll put half of this in my stasher bag and add the hot water, and I will have a really nice hot meal at the end of the day. All right, then I like to bring some tea bags, usually some herbal tea. Green tea is what I have mostly of. This was one I took from a hotel, so I just had an extra one. This is something that I do eat that's more processed, Cliff Bars. I usually have at least one of these a day. I usually will have breakfast, and then as soon as we start hiking, I start on a Cliff Bar and eat it for a little while. They're really dense with calories, 250 calories in this little bar, so that's a win-win. And then this is another one of my favorites is peanut butter balls. So I make these with oatmeal. I put in, say however much oatmeal you put in, then I put in natural peanut butter. I put in half as much peanut butter as oatmeal. Then I put in half as much honey as I do peanut butter. So if it's a cup of oats, then it's half a cup of peanut butter, quarter cup of honey. It goes like that. Then I do add-ins. This time I put in quinoa flakes, and I put in sunflower seeds, and I put in raisins and chocolate chips. You gotta have chocolate chips. So I think that's, oh, and I put in flaxseed. I think that's it. I try to put in as much as I can in these. They're really full of nutrition, protein, fat, everything I need. So that's day 1. Day 2, I'll go through this a little faster so you can, I just want to show a couple of things that I made that I'm excited about that worked well with the dehydrator. I dehydrated some garbanzo beans and seasoned them with turmeric and salt and pepper. So these will be a snack as I go, which is great because that's carbs and protein. I need that. Then I make trail mix. This is just pecans, dried cranberries, chocolate chip. I love dark chocolate, so I'm always gonna have that in there. So that's what this is. And that might be 2 days worth. And then for breakfast, that day 2 is the first day I'll have breakfast out there. I made my own oatmeal packet. So I've got oatmeal, then some of that green powder. I just put that in there for nutrition. Some flaxseed, I put in cinnamon, and then I dehydrated fruit. So there's dehydrated apples here. I just kind of peeled them apart and put them in there. And then I put in some walnuts. And then I've got a little packet of honey here. This should be 2 breakfasts right here. The honey will only last for 1, but the oatmeal will be for 2, so I'll eat half of it. At the end of the day, I'll move it to my day 3 bag. All right, and then this was something I tested for dinner. I always test anything I'm going to dehydrate. I test it first. I don't just dehydrate it for the test. I rehydrate it and make sure it works in my stasher bag. So for this, I just took, I don't normally just eat like white pasta, but I figured I just need some good, like simple carbs. So this is just regular, Walmart brand pasta, and I cooked it, poured some jar sauce on it, mixed it up, and then dehydrated it in my Excalibur dehydrator, and then it rehydrates like a dream. So I'm really looking forward to having a big serving of pasta one night. And then this is something new I'm trying. It looks pretty gross. A lot of this looks gross until you're out there after hiking 17 miles and you're hungry and you're really happy to have this. So this is peanut butter and jelly. I mixed it up in a bag, and this is what I'm planning on having on whole wheat tortillas for lunch every day. I can eat some peanut butter and jelly every day. I do not get tired of it. So the tortillas are great because they're flat, so they're not going to get smushed, and they are a bit heavy, but we got 130 calories per serving, so that's good. And so I'll spread that peanut butter and jelly on here, and then I'll move this to the next days. All right, so that's day 2. I just wanted to show a couple more little things out of the next days, how I'm doing it. I've got more. Here's another stasher bag. They come in different colors and sizes. Isn't that cute? That's another trail mix I did. I roasted some sunflower seeds. There's peanuts, chocolate chips, raisins in there. So these are some more of those garbanzo beans dehydrated. This is watermelon jerky. So it's dehydrated watermelon strips, basically. I thought I'd try it. I saw it on the Excalibur's Instagram. tried it, I liked it. So this is actually a lot of watermelon right here. So I'm looking forward to that. I have pumpkin seeds that I just toasted on the stove, and nutritional yeast in there because I like that. I do have a layer bar, so a couple packaged things, more mashed potatoes. Oh goodness, looks like more watermelon. I'll split that to another day. And then this, my friends, is black beans and rice. So I cooked black beans and rice. I cooked the rice in my rice cooker, the black beans in my Instant Pot, and then I mixed them together and dehydrated them, and they rehydrate really well, and I'll have these on a tortilla. This is actually enough for 2 meals, depending on how hungry I am. So I'm super excited about having that. I do wish I would have mixed salsa in there. There's salsa in with the black beans when I cooked them, but I wish I would have dehydrated some salsa with it. I just kind of ran out of time. So, and then I have more mashed potatoes in there. Okay, so day 4. So day 4 is labeled breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't know if I showed you that on the others, but I put which meals we're gonna have. Sometimes I forget and I over or under pack. So I've got more mashed potatoes, and then this is so cool. It looks gross. I'll admit it looks gross, but it is so cool. So what I did, I love zucchini noodles. That's what I typically eat for pasta, either that or lentil noodles. So I cooked my spiralized my zucchini, cooked stove, added just jarred sauce. I don't make my own sauce. And then I spread it out on Teflon sheets of the Excalibur dehydrator trays and dehydrated it. And it peeled up like a fruit roll up. Look at this, it's actually folded. See if I can unfold it. So this is zucchini noodles. Folded up. Let me see if I can get it all the way unfolded. It's still folded in half one more time here. I don't want to mess it up. So, but let's see if you can see that. When I rehydrated this, it was amazing. It was like nothing had ever happened to it. So I'm going to have zucchini noodles. I'm going to get some vegetables and sauce, and it is going to be so good. I wish I would have made my nutty parm. I make a cashew-based Parmesan cheese substitute to put on this when it's rehydrated. Is so good, and on the other pasta. But I'm kind of out of time. We are leaving at 5 a.m. So I've got more peanut butter balls. I've got some Cliff bars, more oatmeal. This oatmeal has strawberries and peaches in it. Okay, and then last day I was going to show you is day 5. I have, we're only out there for breakfast and lunch, but for lunch I have some lentils that I seasoned with salsa. And I dehydrated those, so I'll have those on a tortilla if I have any left. If not, I'll just eat it straight out of the stasher bag. So I'm able to hike with real food. I don't have to go to the store and buy all this like prepackaged stuff, which I'm sure is fine, but it's crazy expensive and it's nowhere near as nutritious. And when I'm out there, I want good nutrition. I want to know that I'm going to eat stuff that I'm used to eating that's not going to upset my stomach, because how terrible is that to have an upset stomach while you're stuck in the woods for 5 days? And having to make progress. Like, we have to make progress to get back to our car. So I'm excited. This is maybe my second time since hiking. Yeah, my second time hiking since I've been following a whole foods plant-based diet, and it's working great for me. In the past, I've taken beef jerky and some other things, and I don't miss it at all. I still feel very strong as I'm hiking. I actually feel super energetic. My digestive system is just regulated well, and I feel really good while I'm out there. So I'm excited to try some of these new things, and I will see you in 5 days, 70 miles. My legs might be a little tired. I hope you enjoyed. I hope somebody found some good tips they can find. If you have any great tips, comment below. If you have any questions, want recipes or anything like that, just comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.